Hello students and welcome to the Extra Credit Classes channel, and thanks to you all for sharing and subscribing this videos of knowledge with other students who are seeking knowledge and guidance. So today we are going to start the very first series of videos which is exploring the algebraic inequalities. So before we start learning about inequalities or inequations, we must understand the basic difference between an equation and an inequation. So basically, equation is where an equal to sign is always there. For example, we have linear equations like x plus 2 equal to 0, or we can write x plus 1 equal to 0. So we will simply get x equal to minus 2 and x equal to minus 1. Linear equations are where the degree is 1. Now similarly we have quadratic equations. Quadratic equations are those where degree of x is 2. For example, I can write x square minus 3x plus 2 equal to 0. So there will be two values of x. Then we can have cubic equation where degree of x is 3. So we can solve these type of equation as well. For example, x cube minus 1 is equals to 0. Now the best part of solving an equation is that the number of solutions is always equal to the degree of x. In this case, the number of solutions is always equal to the degree of x. That is, in case of linear equation we have one solution. In case of quadratic equation we have two solutions, and in case of cubic equation we have three solutions. So these are the terms which we might have already studied in our previous classes. Then we can, if we are clear about equations, then we can move on to inequations. Now inequations are those where in spite of an equal to sign we have a greater than or a less than sign. So let us discuss more about inequations now. In inequations, we have a less than or a greater than sign, or we can have greater than equal to or less than equal to symbol as well. So for example, we have certain inequations like x plus 1 greater than 0, or we can write x plus 3 less than 0, or we can have x minus 1 less than 0. It can be x plus 1 upon x plus 3 greater than or less than 0, we can have x plus 1 multiplied by x plus 3 greater than or less than 0. So basically solving any type of inequation would require certain things, certain skills, and how to do them is what we are going to discuss in this first video. So before starting to solve any kind of inequation, we should be familiar with two very important aspects of solution. That is, we must understand about real number line and intervals. So real number line, we already know it starts from minus infinity and goes till plus infinity, and we can study about intervals related to the real number line. So intervals are of four types. So for those who have already studied the chapter of sets and they know about intervals, it's just a reminder, we are going to revise it again over here. And for those who haven't studied it yet, so it is going to be a very important topic for you. So four type of intervals are, number one is called open interval. Now what is an open interval? In open interval, we write the values of x as a less than x less than b. That means x is any real number whose value lies between a and b, but it is never equal to a or b. So on the number line, we can represent it like this is a, this is b. Because x is not equal to a, so we are putting a circle over here, and x is not equal to b, that a circle over b as well. Now if we see the meaning of this statement, particular statement is these values. It means x can have values between a and b, but not exactly a and b. It can have values, all the values between a and b, all values between a and b, but not exactly a and b itself. Okay. So we can write it in one more way. It is written in mathematics as x belongs to open interval a comma b. So you have to remember this bracket to represent open interval. Okay, so always remember that, because for second type of interval it is different. Then the second type of interval are called closed interval. In closed interval, we write the x as a less than equal to x less than equal to b. So in this case, let's say this is x, this is b, this is our number line. So x can be equal to a. So we make circle and darken the circle, because now we represent it as that it is equal to a, and then it is equal to b as well. So we represent it like this, and x consists all the values that are in between a and b as well. So basically it means that x can be equal to A and equal to B, and it can have all the values between A and B as well. So that is the true meaning of an closed interval, and we can represent a closed interval by using a different set of brackets, square brackets. Okay, so this for representing closed interval. Okay, so you might be now getting it. Now there is one more category of intervals. So there is third category of interval, that is called half open and half closed intervals. Now half open and half closed. So here we write as A less than X less than equal to B, and in half closed we write A less than equal to X less than B. Okay, so alternately we can also write on the number line. If we have to represent it, we will write it A, B on the number line. So X cannot have the value A, therefore an unfilled circle, but X can have the value B. It can be equal to the value B, and simultaneously all the values between A and B. Similarly, in case of this one, we have A and B. This is minus infinity plus infinity. Now here the X can have the value A but not B, and all the values in between A and B. So we can write it like this: X not equal to A but X is equal to B, and X can have all values between A and B. Similarly, in this case, X can be equal to A but not equal to B, and X can have all values between A and B. So we can represent this half open as X belongs to this, like this. Okay, so just see, this is representing open, and this bracket is represent closed interval. Okay, so this is how it is. Now half closed, we can write X belongs to like this. Okay, so this bracket represents the closed interval and this represents the open interval. So combination of both is called half open or half closed. So we are going to basically use these three intervals in getting the very solution of the algebraic inequations. If we have no knowledge about these intervals, we cannot write the solution of inequations in a proper manner. So hopefully you have got about these intervals. Now the second most important thing that we are going to use in the solution of inequations is the union and the intersection of two sets. second important thing to get solution of inequations is union and intersection of two sets, because there might be time when we might have to do union of two sets on real number line to get a particular solution, and there might be some times where we need to do intersection of two sets to get a solution. Now if we see union of two sets, so let A be a set